Well, good evening and welcome to Monday Night Client Support. And we're talking tonight about Element 8, which, if you have your books, I suggest you pull them out. If not, no problem. But we're going to be talking about learning to eat every 3 hours. Seems like a simple subject.
Yeah, it does, but we're so used to not eating every 3 hours. So we weren't raised that way. That's not our mode of operation. That's not the habits that we're used to. So, but learning to eat every 3 hours has so many benefits.
Oh my goodness. And I just like Clark said, um, I was raised, you got to eat 3 meals a day, right? Breakfast,
Right.
lunch, and dinner. It's got to be a vegetable, a protein, and a starch, right? That
Which
was with, right?
our understanding of what those were different than what they are. They were in my family anyway. Like corn was considered a vegetable, which it isn't.
Right?
So
Peas.
peas
Right?
is yeah, there's
Yeah,
starches and so
yeah.
yeah.
And then we were always told, if you eat in between meals, that isn't good, right?
Yeah, I didn't
Unless
have that.
unless it was ice cream when
Yeah,
you're watching
I
TV.
didn't have that rule. Mine was eat and then eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, and then we had always had a 4 o'clock snack when I was at my
Hmm.
grandpa's farm. Then we had a 10 o'clock snack, on the farm. So
Probably because you were doing farm work,
yeah,
I suspect.
it was healthy. It was, I
Yeah.
mean, it was active. So
I suspect that's
yeah.
probably what it was. So here's the thing about tonight. So if you only pick up one thing tonight, this is what you need to know is that probably one of the most, hey Lisa, one of the most powerful habits that we teach, and it's important in a lot of ways, but the most important habit is eating every 3 hours.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and that's why as coaches we really encourage people. That's part of that those first weeks and
mhm,
days of teaching in that new habit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you'll hear us kind of harp on that because there's a lot of reasons why that's important. So what do you think one of the reasons is?
Well, one of the reasons is it shows that it decreases our calories,
Yeah,
even though even though you're eating more, you eat you eat
more
less more
often.
often, not necessarily more quantity, but more often. Uh, you eat less. Science shows that when they do that, you eat less calories.
You know, yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah,
This is what I know since I've started and created the habit of eating every 3 hours is I do not eat as much at
true,
each of the little settings.
true.
I mean, partly that's from because using the fuelings, your body got used to having good nutrition, but in a fairly small amount. So, isn't that great that you sit down and you don't feel like you have this big cavern of a stomach that you're trying to fill?
Right.
After, a couple of minutes of eating, you're already starting to feel pretty satisfied with what you're eating. So, what are some of the other reasons that this is so important? It actually helps you to get to and maintain the correct body mass index. So it keeps your blood sugars level because you're feeding your body something nutritious, low in sugar, good amount of protein every 3 hours. So it creates a perfect, we'll call it a perfect storm,
Hmm.
although we don't want to call it a storm, but it's a perfect condition for your body to go into what we call a gentle ketosis, where it's burning fat, not muscle, because what you're eating is the correct amount of carbs and protein. So what it does is it's not enough carbs where your body only burns carbs. It's enough carbs to keep your brain and your organs functioning correctly But what it does is it actually burns your unwanted fat. And I don't know about you, but that's the state I want my body in.
That's a good goal.
That's a great goal. It's a
Yeah,
great goal.
yeah.
So now there's another bonus. Okay, so you think, okay, it seems okay, those eating every 3 hours, but really, okay, I know it helps me get to my goal weight, helps me sustain it. But is that the only benefits? No. It actually lowers your cholesterol, which we have seen because we have a client,
Yes.
right, that
He was on cholesterol medicine for 30 years, and his doctor took him off of it after a month.
after
And
a month on program.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's a huge thing when it can adjust your cholesterol in such a good way. And just like we were saying about your blood sugar levels, it actually helps your insulin levels. So that's the whole blood sugar and just keeping it steady. So, I mean, a part of it is that you're eating every 3 hours, but a part of it too is what you're eating every 3 hours.
yeah. It takes your metabolism, it levels it out. So when we were eating the old way in our own memory, we were spiking our metabolism spiked when we ate a big breakfast, and then it went into the
Yeah, the
basement.
pancake thing,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pancake thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it went into the basement between. Then we'd eat another big meal at lunchtime, and it would spike, and then it would go down and it would spike again at supper or dinner time. And this keeps your metabolism really steady, really even. And that's what burns the fat, and it also keeps your insulin levels steady. So,
So one of the things when we talk to potential clients, they always are a little like, okay, we know the plan probably works, but my biggest problem, they'll tell us, is keeping the weight off. So what we know is when you create this habit of eating every 3 hours
mm,
and you eat what correctly what you're supposed to be eating every 3 hours. Okay, you're not eating this big massive meal, but you're eating something good nutrition, right? Small amount. Um, and it becomes a habit. You will, no doubt, sustain a healthy weight. It just it's
cannot,
you cannot it cannot not do
it's
that.
the result of that.
It's the
The
result. Yeah.
results, and when we are in, and when we're thinking that, oh, I'm on plan, but I'm not losing weight and I'm not getting healthy, we have to really think of whether we're really doing it or not. Because when we're doing it, we will lose weight, we'll get to our correct BMI,
Yeah.
we'll have right metabolism, we'll be healthy, and we will be a good health
Yeah.
healthy person.
So here's the thing. I don't know where you are in your journey. It took a while for me, and I'm sure for you too, Clark,
Yeah.
to make that a habit. Okay. If you're fairly new in the journey and it's not a habit yet, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. But what we need to remember is the habits of health, what we call it, the habits of health clock. All that means is that everybody has 24 hours in a day. And the goal is in those 24 hours, you're going to have good sleep for 7 to 8 of it. That would be the goal, right? And then you're going to be eating within 30 minutes to 60 minutes of getting up something small, nutritious. Okay. If you're on the 5-in-1, it will be a fueling. If you are already transitioned, which those of you that are on 5-in-1, you will transition when you get to a weight you're happy with. It would be some kind of whole food. So, for example, if you were doing whole food, it might be a small cup of yogurt and some berries or something like that. Okay, within 30 minutes to an hour of getting up. All right, so let's just talk the 5-in-1. So you'd have a fueling, maybe with your coffee in the morning. 3 hours later, 2.5 to 3 hours later, you do it again, and you keep doing that. That is your habit of health clock. So you got your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Within 30 to 60 minutes of getting up, you start feeding your body nutritionally for the entire day, every 2.5 to 3 hours, including in there one lean and green meal.
So part of that clock is creating the cue.
Mm,
Is so that my body knows, or we are in the habit. I mean, we just know now it's kind of functional that way. But before we had a cues or a way that we would signal that it's time to have to fuel our body.
yeah.
And so we create a cue so that we know it's 3 hours, we have to eat, we have to fuel our body. And one of the best ways to do that is the app.
You can do it with the Habits of Health or the Optavia app. I think they call it Optavia app now.
Mhm.
Or for me, I just use the timer on my phone. I just made it easy.
Mhm.
Um, and like Clark and I were saying, what happened is now our body knows. So we don't have to set our clock. Hey, Belinda. So the reason that there's a whole element dedicated to eating every 3 hours is it really is the foundation of not only getting to your healthy weight, maintaining your healthy weight.
Dr. A calls it the most powerful habit of health of eating smaller, nutritious portions.
Mhm.
It's the most powerful habit because it keeps your metabolism steady and it keeps you so that you don't it keeps you so that you don't get hungry as often. It keeps your metabolism going. It keeps you body fueled, and it keeps you from being tired because we know sometimes. I mean, this is one of my habits I fell into. Is that when I get tired, I eat. I don't know if anybody else is that way, but when I get tired, I want to eat so that I don't feel tired anymore, and then I eat some more. So it's a bad habit to get into.
Yeah.
So
And that's where being conscious of what you're doing. So I always know when Clark goes to grab something and I know it's like, what is that time to eat, right? I immediately know he's tired. I'm like, is it time to go to bed? So we might want to go to bed now. Um,
or I'm late on the fueling.
mhm,
I
true,
get, I get
true.
like that.
Or the other thing is you could be thirsty.
Yes.
So if you're experiencing some hunger doing this, it could be you're not taking in all your water.
Yes.
And that's what I suspect is probably would be going. And that happens to us for sure.
Yeah.
So there was a study done where they took groups of people. One group, they fed them every 2.5 to 3 hours, the exact same calorie count as a group B. So group A was eating every 3 hours. Group B was eating 3 times a day.
In calorie count.
Same calorie count. The group that was eating every 3 hours lost weight, but the people that were eating 3 times a day didn't. So all that to say is that the body just burns and works more efficiently when it's fed in that manner. And that's one of the reasons that Dr. A says just the best way to eat.
Yep.
So it keeps your insulin levels down, it keeps your cholesterol down, it burns unwanted fat versus storing anything. And so that's the best way to eat.
Yeah.
We got it.
And what we're trying to do, I think when Nancy and I introduce people and start coaching them, one of the things we say often is this is what we're doing right now. We're trying to create the habit and getting you used to eating every 2.5 to 3 hours because we tell them this is not about losing weight. It's about creating new habits. And these new habits will sustain you for the rest of your life. And so we tell our clients, we're going to do this for forever.
Right.
Oh, we are? Yes, we're doing this forever. It's not for a period of time. It's not till I hit my BMI. We're doing this forever because we're creating a habit that will sustain us, and we won't have to keep losing that 20 to 30 pounds, the same 20 and 30 pounds the rest of our life. It will stay away.
And the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And so because we've been able to create that habit, it has helped us to sustain our weight loss. So, and you can do the same thing. You
Yes,
just
you can.
have to create. So I love the simplicity of it. Um, don't don't get up in your head about it. Just set your clock or the app for every 3 hours and eat something good.
Oh, you guys, anybody here want to chime in on how your eating 2.5 to 3 hours working for you?
Nope.
No?
Okay,
Good. It's
good.
working.
Then that
It's
means you
working
got it
perfect. Yep,
down.
good.
That's good job.
You can teach this one next time.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a short one tonight, but it's an important one. And that's the reason Dr. Anderson did a whole chapter on it. It's like, it's not, not important. It's very important. So make your focus this week, eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. Just stay focused on something good in your body during that, every time you're going
Yeah.
to eat, every 2.5 to 3 hours.
And if it's a struggle, give us a call. If you're struggling with it, you're saying, well, I just can't, my schedule, this or that. I work at night and just different. I had a guy that started and he said, uh, he about second day in or his first day in, he goes, oh, I don't think I brought enough feelings with me. And so we fixed it. We got him through that day. We fixed it. And now he's great. We celebrated his 8th day on Saturday and he said he's feeling way better. So that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you need something, give us a ring, give us a call, text us, email us something, but we'll walk you through it.
All right. It's a short one tonight, but a good one. So,
Did you want something to say, Lee?
yeah, Lisa, did you want to share?
No, no, no. I just wanted to say I really like this program. I like that it keeps us satiated. I like that it keeps us hydrated. So thank you
Yeah.
for encouraging us.
Oh,
And sometimes when I'm just about to fall or falter, I come to this meeting and then I get re-energized and recommitted. So
That's great.
coming to the
that's
meeting
great,
is good
Lisa.
too.
Well, we want to congratulate everyone that's on here tonight and congratulate everybody who doesn't quit. We all have, it's our health journey is like this. It's not like that. So we congratulate everyone who doesn't, that you didn't quit. You don't quit. You just keep going and you keep going, you reset, you restart, and you go the next time. So congratulations. Yes, Belinda.
I just want to say, I know when I don't eat every 3 hours and I go, let's say 5 hours or whatever, I mean, if something in the day happens and I go longer, I end up eating more than I should.
That's true. Me too, Belinda.
And then I feel terrible.
Yep.
We do
I
the
mean,
same
not
thing.
terrible guilty, but terrible physically.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That just kind of backs up the science that your body flourishes when it's fed good nutrition every few hours, right? Because then when you don't do it, and then you eat probably too much, maybe even the wrong stuff. Yeah, we always know. I mean, it happens to us every so often too.
Yep.
We get really busy and then we're like starving, right? And we grab something, we're like, it didn't feel good at all. So yeah, something good to
But
just keep in mind.
but the thing is, you're only 3 hours away from a new start. So, right?
But I always want to eat pumpkin. That's the problem. Or drink a pumpkin cold
Only in
brew
the fall.
this time of
Fall.
year. I know this time of year is tough for me.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
I like pumpkin too. I like pumpkin too, Lisa.
Yeah, today this really Nancy really said this. She goes, I think I'm just about done with pumpkin spice. I go, really?
I know. Well, I did get the sugar-free pumpkin
Yeah,
for
you do, you
for
do.
my coffee.
Yeah.
And but I think I'm over it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway. All right, everybody. You guys have a great week. Really, I'm telling you, if you aren't already doing it, just stay focused this week. Eating every 3 hours, you will absolutely see results.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
You guys take care. Talk to you soon.
Have a great week.